Yes, I have gotten into water filter autism. I have like a standing gravity filter.
Dude, so I kind of got because I was thinking about getting a Berkey too, right? Like that's the one you have.
Is that what they're called? I have the
I don't know.
brand's
There's a bunch of
Aquacera.
different brands of it, but Berkey is like the big main standing gravity one that has like it's the one that everybody uses
Yeah, yeah,
mostly if they have like a standing gravity filter. But my thing with Berkey has always been like they don't, and they're the only filter company in like the entire history of filter companies that doesn't release their test data
Oh,
for
that's sus.
filtration stuff. Yeah, and it's like like if you're like a water filter company, that's kind of your thing, right? Like you're selling like one thing. And like why would
Yeah,
you not release the representation of that one thing? Like it kind of raises some red flags there to me.
yeah.
So
I'm using the company Aquacera. It was recommended to me from someone who also went on the rabbit hole down the rabbit hole water autism. And mine's pretty good, and it seems to have pretty good data. But I've never tried the Berkey, but it looks cool. Mine, it's like a ceramic thing.
yeah, the Berkey, or do you mean your Aqua
Oh,
thing?
mine's like a ceramic gravity filter.
Yeah, no, the gravity filters definitely look cooler than I mean, I right now I think I have like a Brondell Circle like underwater, and it's just because my ex installed it, and it's like I guess the main ratio or the main benefit to that thing is like with reverse osmosis filters, they're usually pretty wasteful. So like in order to filter like a liter of water, you might have to like spill out like 12 liters or something like that. Whereas I think the Brondell Circle only has like a 2-to-1 ratio or something. So like for every liter you get, you're only pissing out like an additional one or two, as opposed to like 10 times as much.
Yeah, I don't think mine's 10. Mine
No, the
feels.
gravity
Oh,
filters are basically 1-to-1,
yeah,
right?
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it seems pretty 1 to 1. There's a
No,
little bit of
the
like a little bit gets stuck in the top, and I have to like change that, but that's about it.
Yeah. It was I was kind of impressed with her for being able to install it, right? Like that's a very
Oh, she like physically did it herself. She didn't just like get someone to do it.
yeah. I mean,
Powerful.
to be fair, it's like it's pretty easy in that like it gives you a diagram, you cut a hole in basically one water line, you attach a T joint and then you kind of hook everything up and they have really really simple crimp fittings and there's no like everything is either crimp or screw on. So there's
Yeah.
nothing like terribly technical or anything, but it's still like it's
It's
kind of
so.
ballsy, like if and she did this like the night before my birthday. So she like snuck out while I was asleep to like do plumbing or something. It was just
That
extremely
is
high
that's
agency.
very high
But the
agency. Yeah.
downside to the high agency was like she also thought that she could replace like all of the like the toilet paper holders, the towel holders, all that stuff in
Oh yeah,
all
no,
of my
now you're doing too
bathrooms.
much.
And she used fucking drywall anchors for everything. She didn't put anything in a stud. And now after like 1 year, we are reaping the damages of that horrible mistake. Right, as literally every fucking thing gets pulled out of my wall. There's just like drywall holes
Mhm.
everywhere. I'm gonna have to go and patch like literally 150 holes.
Oh, that's fucking brutal.
Yep. And
Way too.
she tossed all of the old shit that like worked perfectly, but it just wasn't like, oh, that doesn't go with this shade of blue, which was it was white, by the way.
Oh, is that what it was? Just because
She
the
painted
drywall
every
hooks were looked
I don't know.
better.
I think girls have their like sort of nesting desire.
Hmm.
And like to me, like I assume you're the same way because basically every guy I've ever met who isn't just like overloaded with like excessive amounts of free time is this way. But like if I walk into a room and there's like a towel rack and it holds my towel, like it could be black, it could be like
Yeah.
hot pink, like it literally is not something that my brain,
Processes. It's
like
just
it's
this is the utility. It's just the tool. It just does the towel holding.
yeah, and like especially with all of this bathroom stuff, like it's not like there's like designers don't really get that weird with it, right? Like there
Mm.
isn't that huge of a range of things that could be like horrible. Like you don't come in to see some sort of like a squiggly hot pink monstrosity. It's either like do you like smooth
Metal or
stainless
smooth.
steel or do you
Yeah.
like brushed stainless steel? Do you like rods or do you like extruded squares?
Yeah, there's really only two options, and and you just get very varieties of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, but the girls do see that. Like they have that whole aisle in Home Depot. I'm always just like fascinated. I like the knob aisle,
Yup.
just the fucking handles. I was like, wow. Like it never really dawned on me that there's like
This
I don't
was
know.
this was one of the first times growing up I started to be like, wow, like boys and girls are different. was I was like 9 years old or something, and my mom was picking out. She wanted to get like new granite for her countertops. Like it wasn't even like we're getting granite countertops, but it was like she wanted a different variety of granite for her countertops. And I shit you not, man, 8 months. It was an 8 month decision. She
Wow.
was, and
What
it
it
was
was?
like
Did
she
she
would.
like pick a off color, like a red or something, like one of those? What are those like sandy red colors? Would she do something like weird or
Oh,
just?
it wasn't even. It was like she wound up with like a. It was like a dark greenish with some like little red highlights or something. I don't know. It was very Christmassy, I think. But
Interesting.
it was just. And she would
Weird.
all like every day I would come home from school and she would show me all of these palettes lined up and ask me like which one do you like which one do you think is better, which one do you think would go, and then she would ask me for this was another really crazy thing. She would say like, so imagine this, and I was like, I can't do it, and she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I like,
I
I
can't
was like, my,
fucking
my
do it,
brain
mom.
like this is actually like I don't know how to explain this to you, but you're describing to me like a function that your brain has that when I'm trying to replicate it, like I can't do it,
I
right?
can't.
Like
Sorry, I
she's like,
can't.
"What do you mean you can't? Just imagine what it would look like if you're in this mental room and you sub this out with this color." And I'm like, "Mom, I can't do it." Like,
I can see the red apple, but I can't see this room.
yeah, right. Like I can increase the resolution of the red apple. I can alter the polygon count, right? I can make it really
Hmm.
blocky. I can change the shader location, the ambient occlusion. Like we can adjust all the sliders, but like unironically, when I try and start changing the color of the apple, it's the whole thing just crashes. Like, I can't do
You
this.
got you don't have like a green apple or a.
No, like I literally can only imagine one specific color of reddish yellow apple.
Oh, interesting. You went for the red yellow. Those like not Jonah. What are those?
Yeah, it's like a Honeycrisp.
Honeycrisp. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. My first thought is like I'm an Apple like savant, I guess. I'm like thinking of
Oh,
like
you're
those.
an apple savant.
Yeah. I can remember
Name your
Honeycrisp,
top
right?
three apples from the Minnesota University of the Apple Breeding Program.
I only know New York apples. Thank you. I only have Northeast apple autism.
I'm
I'm
I'm a bit of an apple. I'm a bit of an apple freak myself too. So the patent on Honeycrisp expired basically, and Honeycrisp, they were always
Yeah,
like
that's
the
like everyone
voted
loves
apples,
those.
right?
I actually
So
don't like them the most. I think Pink Ladies are the best, but that's just me.
I am not a huge fan of Pink Ladies, but Honeycrisps used to be, I think, very good, and I think overall the quality went down, and I'm gonna attribute that to
True.
patent expiration and the fact that anybody can really just go in, because there was previously kind of a standard of quality, like only
True.
people who were licensed could go and sell these things, and now it's just fucking. But that same University of Minnesota, they went and they bred up a Zestar and a Honeycrisp, and they made a Sweet Tango, which is my new favorite
Oh,
apple.
I gotta try this. This
Unfortunately,
shit sounds lit.
dude, they cost like I don't know. I found them for like $9 a pound or something, just like absurd in my store this season. But fall they usually come around, and historically I usually gain like 15 pounds every fall purely off of Sweet Tangos.
How the
Like
fuck do you gain weight off eating fruit? You and the
I
mangoes
I
and
eat
the
a
apples.
massive fucking amount of Sweet Tangos, man. Like this is the period during which I've hit like every time I've like taken a video of like max lifts or anything, it's all been during this period of like Sweet Tango engorging.
So like if you had to say like how many apples would you eat a day? Because I just don't understand how you
So
can gain weight
it's
with fruit.
it's hard to it's hard to quantify in how many, because there's like Sweet Tangos are generally kind of smaller, but every now and then, if you go to Costco, they have these huge fucking pallets where you can get like 5 pounds in like 6 apples or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very variable size, but like that gives you a good idea of like the upper end, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the big ones you can get 5 pounds out of like six of them or something like that, but at the little ones it's like like the stuff that like a workplace might have in like a fruit bowl or something. They aren't going to be like
Yeah,
huge,
like the
the
Macintosh
massive
apple
GMO
size.
apples, right? Like the huge
Yeah, you get the Macintosh apple size, like
yeah,
the red and green. I see. Very
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
it is really fucked up how when you say imagine an apple, there are people out there who imagine a red delicious, and it's even more fucked up that they named it red delicious despite
They
it being
suck. They're
the
disgusting.
shittiest,
They're the
the
worst fucking
shittiest
apples.
universe. Like nobody can agree on a favorite apple.
But they
Everybody
all know that
generally,
Red
yeah,
Delicious is trash.
they can all agree on the shittiest apple, and it's like I've heard the only people I've ever heard tell me who like they don't think it's total shit are the ones who say like something just like horrible and grotesque. Like, yeah, like I really enjoy like cutting them up and eating them with salt or something. And you're like, okay, you're
My
just,
dad used to really like Red Delicious, but I feel like that's just like PTSD of like growing up in the '60s or '70s or some shit. Like you're just used to the one type of apple, and like
is that
in
all?
like
Is that all they had? I
in
like
like New York City, like the people weren't like apple snobs. They just kind of like this is what you like have. You have this or Granny Smith. It's
so
like yeah,
like. Do you know how they bred them up? Like, do you know what
no,
they selected for?
no. What are they for color?
Literally just for being the reddest apple.
That's so cringe. That's disgusting.
It was like
It's fucking
it was
not.
the result purely of breeding for color, and they disregarded like everything else, like firmness, crispness, taste,
Yeah, because they always
acidity.
turn into like fucking like mushy. They always end up like
Yeah, right. Like everyone's like, "Oh, this red delicious isn't ripe." It's like, no, they're never ripe.
they're
Like,
never. Yeah, they're always just fucking gooey on the inside, and they just turn yellow instantly. Disgusting, fucking gross ass apples. And I've actually never seen a red delicious in like at least 10 years. I just don't think any. I think everyone just got over it. Like
so
we're
I
not doing this
actually
anymore.
have my company every week they bring in these like massive crates of apples, and for the most part, like for the most part, fucking nobody eats them except me, right? So
Yeah,
it's like I just have like this massive crate of apples for the week that I just get to munch on. uh,
apples fuck. Honestly, I mean now that I forgot that fall is coming, right? So I can. It's about to be apple season again.
it's about yeah, it's about, I'm
I've been eating a
prepared,
lot of
right?
plums and grapes and shit, but now we're about to switch gears.
We're about to hit sweet tango season.
Sweet Tang. I've
My
never had a
favorite
sweet
time of
tango.
dude. I brought some into work, and I got a really funny combination of people saying like, "Why do you like this so much? This is exactly like every other one of these like reddish yellow apples." And people who said like, "Oh my god, like this is like an ungodly representation of like the idealized form of apple." So it seems that maybe there are some palates that are more or less refined
Refined.
on this
I think it's
matter.
definitely. Are you like a fucking garbage person, low caste uh for individual who can't differentiate between apples, or are you like a normal human?
This should be like the new dating heuristic, right? Like you take her on a picnic and you give her like three slices of apples, and then after you're like, could you tell those were different?
or
Could you tell they were from different apples, those slices? And if she says no, you just leave. You
you gotta
just
fucking
fucking
go.
walk out.
And or you got to make sure that one of them's like a fucking is like a plant. One of them's like a red delicious slice, and she like if she likes that the most, she's like, you gotta fucking you're a fucking monster.
She's lying to you, obviously.
Yeah, we can't fuck with her. Uh, yeah,
I've had a lot of these fruit dates actually. Now that I'm
you've had
thinking about
fruit
it, I
dates.
think
Is this a thing?
yeah. Well,
I've gone to apple orchard, like apple picking for dates, or like yeah, apple picking for dates. That's like a good northeastern tradition.
one of my exes, I just went into, I don't know, she had some, it was some just like nonsense bullshit class. And I just walked into the class and I like sat in the back and I like waved to her and she came back and I pulled her out and we just went and sat in the courtyard. I was like, look what I got. And I busted open my backpack and I had like 10 pomegranates. We
Oh
just sat
fuck
there
yeah,
eating
pomegranates.
pomegranates in the courtyard. I
And then
think
you
there
look like
was
a
during the mango period, I definitely had like 2 or 3 mango dates. I have had a fuck ton of sweet tango dates. I've had dates too, actually. So I had
a date is very that's dangerous business, dude. You
so
end up shitting your brains out.
I was dating this Persian girl for a while, and she went back to Iran. And Iranian dates are like they're the shit.
Okay.
Iranian dates are the absolute best, right? So I was always ranting about Iranian dates and how good they were. Before I like I this was in like a period of very low like geographic awareness for me. So like I was just going off about like various fruits that I was like really affectionate for to this girl, and I started going off about Iranian dates, and at one point she was like, "Did you know that I like am from Iran?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, like that's what Persian is," and I was like, "What?" I thought it was so
I think
with
it's weird that
that.
the Persians gonna just rebrand like that. Like I'm not Middle Eastern. I'm Persian. I'm from. You know what I mean? Like
And
why do they get?
they're really fucking hostile about it too, right? Like they
Yeah,
if they get compared to like an Arab or something,
they think it's
they'll
different,
they'll start seeing red.
and I just don't understand on
Well,
a
like
fundamental
it
level.
is. I mean, I don't know. Like if you do the whole like 23andMe, like chasing the genes back, like it definitely is not Arab. It is its own thing. Uh, but it's just funny because like to the average like American white person, they're like, "Oh, you're like Middle Eastern," and they're like genocidal towards Arabs. All of them, like every single, to the extent that like I would be like, so when I met her, there were a bunch of Persians in the group, and I talked to a bunch of them, and generally good friends, all really good. They were all really good girls actually. But I was asking like probably I want to say 80% of them had nose jobs, and I was like,
Sick.
why did you guys get nose jobs? And they were like, so I don't look like the Arabs. Like
Oh,
it wasn't like to be hotter. It was like so I don't look like a fucking Arab.
classic. I've not had much. Well, now that I don't know the difference between Persian and Middle Eastern, I'm having a crisis right now because I can't tell if I've like dated a Persian or not. How far does it range? Right? Is it only Iran? Is it like does it go to like Jordan or something,
I
or is
think
that
they're
move
pretty distinct people. Like I think it's one of the areas where the ethnic group is pretty like hardline cut off.
interesting? They look the same though to everybody else.
I can tell the difference for sure now
You got deep in
after
the.
being immersed in the little Persian subcircle.
Oh, I see. I mean, you know what? I've never really been in like a deep Persian area. That's not like the demo of
It was
being
really
in New
weird.
York.
They stuck to one specific college at my university,
Oh,
and
really?
they like didn't branch out into any other subject. It was just this one thing, and it was really funny because it wasn't
Rug
like
sales?
they were all very like they were all very conservative, right? I think a number of them were saying that like they in their schools they teach that like the Holocaust was like a massive scam that never happened. Like it was just flat out
Powerful.
like so all of them they would be like in this major that had a lot of like gays and trans people and stuff, and they would just constantly be coming to me like, do you guys notice this?
Have you guys
Like
noticed that
why is everybody just acting like this is normal? Do you is,
there's
I
a lot
was-
of the gays here?
yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, my country is like the great Satan? I don't know. Like just
The Persians did 9/11. That's what I'm hearing. It's
I don't
good.
know. I don't know, man. I don't think they seem to be really they seem to really not even know about America until
They get here?
this. Yeah, yeah, and it was so weird. You see the same thing with like guys who come over from Russia, where and they all
Yes,
do this
definitely. I see this with Russia for sure.
right. They all do this same exact thing where they like they're normal, they blend in and stuff. But then like when America does its weird America-isms, which like if you haven't left America, you don't really have a good idea of what this is. But like realistically, like America treats like race and stuff like literally no other country on the planet. And so when those people come here and they like see the race discourse happening, they're just like confused beyond
Yeah, yeah. They
beyond
get like
any idea what's going on.
you see that with a lot of those like in between countries. I mean, you see that with like Turkish people too. Sometimes or like all those like weird Eurasian countries.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
don't like they all have the sense that like they're not going to interject in the conversation. Like I have never, despite all of them clearly having like very strong opinions on the issue when I talk to them privately, like none of them ever say anything. So the average American like doesn't even understand that these people are like so freaked out and uncomfortable because like the average person doesn't they're not like constantly scanning around and like monitoring body language and like generally like low empathy people, so they
Mhm.
don't notice that like
Someone's
when the
radiating
foreign
like
people are starting to
discomfort.
get like really freaked out.
Yeah, they start radiating that like I don't know that weird like discomfort energy,
Yeah.
which a lot of people cannot feel. Which I think is very strange. But I do think a lot of people can't feel like I don't know. Do you get like the physical sensation when other people are like in heightened emotional states near
Yeah.
you?
Well,
Because I think a lot of people can't feel that.
I think I've been realizing more and more the extent to which like most people don't do this or don't pay attention to this stuff, as my cats have drawn everybody in from my neighborhood to try and like interact with them, right? Because then you wind up with like all of these you wind up with like a 60-year-old woman who's like, oh, cute little kitty, and like picks up the cat who's like screaming like, no, and starts like hugging him and crushing and squeezing the thing, and he's like clawing at her face like trying to get away and stuff, and she like has no idea. You're like, hey, like the way that he's trying to kill you means that he doesn't enjoy this, and she's
He's
like,
not
what?
fucking with us.
No. He
And if they
loves
can't,
me.
yeah, if they can't tell with cats, they definitely can't tell with people. So they
Yeah,
just
like
walk around
people.
blind here. That's why people get fucking kidnapped and shit. I've been watching a lot of like gang documentaries and like kidnapping documentaries, and like just found I don't know how I ended up on this rabbit hole on YouTube, which is like security camera footage of people just getting like insane shit happening. That's all I've been doing all week.
Nice.
And so now I'm like, but then now you start to have one of those. Now it's become like a popcorn eating thing where you're just like, how did you not feel this happening around you? I don't know how to like. Some of these fucking people are just like oblivious to the entire situation.
Yeah,
And
like
just,
I don't typically like whenever I read a story about like a kidnapping or something, I don't typically think to myself, wow, like that was a really complex and well executed kidnapping plan, right? Like it's
yeah, no,
usually
it's not. Like I just saw one and they literally just. I mean, they pulled a gun on the dude, but like they just put him in a car, like in the middle of broad daylight, just like it was very clumsy and it was caught on camera. So it's like I don't know. And also,
a lot of and like I don't know what it is. I don't even think this is like an environmental thing because like I haven't exactly spent like a fair amount of time in like super dangerous environments. Like there was like a weird fluke time where I saw 3 people get shot, but that was like an extreme that
just
was like an
casual.
extreme weirdo outlier when I was somewhere that I shouldn't have been uh in like a weird bender situation. But like I haven't ever really lived around like a bunch of super dangerous people, but I have noticed that people don't tend to have that sense of like I am doing something that has a high likelihood of getting me killed sensation in the back of their neck. Like the number of times, I guess easiest example is girls on dates, right? Well, you'll be doing something, it'll start to get dark, and they'll say something like, "Oh, we should go to the park," or "Oh, we should go to the reservoir," and it's like,
Yes, the fucking
well,
reservoir. Oh my god.
we shouldn't go to the woods actually at like 10 at night. Like it's just not.
The first date I had with my ex
It's a
girlfriend.
beautiful, nice town. It's great and stuff, but it's like it's just tempting fate. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, no, the very first date I had with my ex girlfriend, we went to dinner or whatever, and then she's like, "Oh, let me show you a cool place," and we like walk, and it's like again like a water reservoir in the middle of the night, and like I don't know, obviously it's like it's fucking like the suburbs of New York City, so it's like fairly safe, but it's still like I don't know. There could have been vagrants. I could have been a murderer. She didn't know me. It was the very first date, and we met on the internet, so it's like I don't know. You fucking no
Yeah, that's
survival
the other
things.
thing. Is it always instills in me a sense of like, wow, this bitch has horrible judgment. Like,
Yeah, like I'm like twice your size and you took me to the woods. Like, what's wrong with you?
yeah, like I would like to take myself to the most isolated possible, and it's like, yeah, I guess it should be in some way like a compliment to
Yeah, we make him feel
me
safe
or
or whatever.
something. Like, yeah, like
But in another
wow.
sense, it's like you don't think I'm a threat. Like I'm like offended that you don't think I'm a physical threat. Like I want you to feel safe, but I want you to also
Hey,
understand.
verse, do you want to go to the reservoir? Do you not think I could kill you?
Yeah, I need you
I
to
could
like.
totally kill you.
I need you to fear me, but like also like no, I won't do anything. I just want because it's emasculating if you don't think I'm a physical threat. But I still want you should still feel safe.
We're all sitting out here like patting ourselves on the backs. We're like, oh yeah, like my amygdala is just so much bigger than that girl's. Actually, they just think we're pussies.
There's like he would never fucking do anything. I could take him. The funny
Oh
thing is, they
man.
do genuinely think that they can take you. Like they like half, not all of them, but a lot of them are like deluded to the point where
I
they
don't
think they
think mine
can.
thinks
You're
that.
not yours, no, no. Mine probably did.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. I haven't had there was a period in college where I want to say it was like around freshman sophomore year basically where like it seemed like every girl that I talked to or dated would all have that realization when we were at some point in us dating during like a play fight or something. They would be like, "Holy shit, like you could kill me." And I
yeah,
would be like,
yeah, duh, of
how did
course.
you make it to this point without like figuring that out?"
Yeah, there was, but also around there was a time then like I feel like mid 2010s where like people women just genuinely believe that they can like fight men or like they could
I
do.
remember I did a poll for this on in my women's studies class. I went around and I asked like 300 people on campus whether they thought 300 women on campus whether I thought that men or women were physically stronger. It was something absurd. It was like 60 or 70% of the women or something said that they thought that the strength levels were equal.
Yeah, like they really don't understand. Cause I remember this very explicitly because a girl tried to fight me when we were drunk, and she like was like, "Oh, I could take you," and she's like this scrappy little like lesbian chick. But I'm like, you understand you have no chance whatsoever. I understand you're like this scrappy rugby player chick, but like I could destroy you. And I wasn't like even big then. I wasn't even working out. But they just it was like a truly believed delusion, and I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
how they
they're
pulled that
they're
off.
very much like all in on it. My sister did the same. I still remember there was one holiday that was just totally exploded by an argument between like my sister and her boyfriend over like whether I think it was like whether the American women's or American men's soccer team would like win in a scrimmage or something. Just like super,
Yeah,
it,
so
it,
like
it was like 2004 level, like
discourse.
public
Yeah.
discourse. Yeah, and I was just sitting there like, how is this?
A
And
debate. Are you
they were
stupid?
both they were both so fucking pissed off. Like they were both like genuinely upset at each.
My
And
sister
I
tried
was
this shit too. With
well, and
the
it was super ridiculous because like this was like around the same time when like the women's team like lost like a
to the high school
scrimmage
team.
against like yeah like the U14 men's
Hmm.
team or something like that. So it was just like, but
Uh,
my sister's boyfriend like doesn't know like I don't know if he has any sort of like online presence at all, so he never would have seen any of this. And I certainly wasn't going to bring it up.
you
Uh,
definitely should have brought that up. That's hard to. That's hard to. That ends the argument right there.
I didn't want to end the argument. I just wanted to
Watch the chaos and
yeah, like
unfold.
I didn't really want to involve myself anywhere in it because like I don't know, this
My
was
sister
during
was fucking doing this too for basketball. She was like, there was a point there where she was like, I don't know, women's basketball, they're just more coordinated. So they're like they play as a team. So there's I guarantee I bet you the WNBA could beat blah 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 NBA team. I'm like, are you stupid? Like like are you dumb? Like have you seen the WNBA? The fucking freak. Have you seen the NBA? Period. They're freaks of nature. And I don't know.
it's all really like I mean why could we not just like I think it would be funny to just desegregate it all.
I do too. Just to fucking just go full laissez faire and let them have exactly what they want. This
Like
has
if
become
we're
my
gonna
opinion.
well,
Let
I
the
mean
women have all.
we're very rapidly approaching the point where it's not even out there. Like you could probably in another like decade or two, you could probably convince the majority of people in like decision making
Mhm.
positions that actually like the segregation is just to keep like women down or something,
Yes,
and
and
we
then
have
just
to
watch
recombine
all
them in
women's
order
sports.
for women to like rightfully ascend to their throne of. And honestly, by that point in like atrazine in the water supply, maybe it'll give the women superpowers and the men's T levels will be
Ooh,
so low
it actually
it'll
might
actually
be
happen.
true.
It'll come true. Yeah, like I don't know. It would just be there's no reality in which it doesn't have like a super funny outcome.
Yeah, no, this is increasingly my political position on all these topics. Just like you know what, you can just how about I'll just let the feminists do what they want, and then they can have the reality of the situation become completely aware. Like, okay, fine, you want to desegregate sports, and now no women whatsoever will ever be noteworthy in sports ever again. Sure, if that's what you want, go for it. You want to fucking like, yeah, you want to make trans girls, trans whatever the fuck, participate in women's sports. Yeah, have fun. Let them get their ass beat. Like you'll never see a woman on the podium ever again. And like,
Yeah, like
like we've had it for 1 year now of like multiple sports, and like
I just
it's
can't.
only trans athletes winning.
I'm too millennial irony poisoned to get to the point of like, yeah, no, like we can't do this, like it's bad for society or whatever. Like I kind of want to like, I want to like put my hands and like protect over my little circle of people who I care about, and then like just kind of watch funny stuff happen in the
Oh yeah,
background. You know, like I don't.
I'm gonna
I
start wearing. I'm gonna start like unironically rooting for like that trans swimmer who like won at VT in the women's
oh yeah,
division.
I assume the one with the all of
I don't know. There was some
all
drama
the
or
memes
whatever.
going around, like I don't know, like 4 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Like you just gotta start rooting. Like just let it happen and watch the fun play out.
Like generally, all of the stuff that goes on that's funny winds up leading to the good end result too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like this weird I don't know, like Jester's law type thing where you can try and follow your principles and stuff, but like somebody who's acting like 100% on like unamused righteousness is usually really bad at like teaching lessons and garnering popular support versus like somebody who lets things get a little bit fucky before he starts before he starts doing a little bit of stand-up commentary on it.
The hell yeah, you gotta let it get a little fucky. That's speaking of the fucking whatever. I had to block that tactical lesbian.
The one who's
They
trying to
tried
bite
to.
you.
No, no, no. The tactical lesbian from chat.
Oh,
I had to block them. They tried to re-add her, and I was like, nope, we're not doing this.
oh no!
I don't know. It's just such a.
Did you say it was you?
I did say it was me. I was like, I'm not letting them back in. You got me fucked up. I'm like, this is for. Trust me, guys. It's for your own good. I'm saving you.
It is really weird how people in there seem to not really understand who's like gonna bite them.
Yeah, like this one is so clear and so obvious that it's like I'm just gonna save you guys ahead of time because this is a clear. This person is like a. They're probably listening now. Well, not this person, but like the people who know who this is. I'm saving your life. Well, not your life, but whatever the fuck. I'm saving. Everything.
It's a very clear situation of like this person is screenshotting all of your pseudo bigoted remarks, and it's all going
Yeah,
to get screenshot dumped into the big transsexual Discord server.
and if
You
it's
want
not
to like
that, they're gonna fucking.
target painted
Everyone's
on your
flirting
head
with
for it.
them. You're gonna get some kind of like, oh, the girls feel comfortable, and then there's like a whole like a sex pest allegation. There's something fucky's gonna happen. Everything's wrong about that person.
There's always something weird going on. There's been a I don't know. There's been a lack of curation in that group chat lately. One might say.
Yeah, unfortunate. This is what happens when people get girlfriends. All the
I know. I was gonna say
fucking
you
rules.
have the greatest group chat on Twitter, and then you get a girlfriend, and suddenly, fucking bam,
Just the fucking
bam, airdropped transsexual.
fucking heavily armed and neurotic. That was the part that was always my favorite. Like just like every video is about like is like gun videos, and every tweet is like getting increasingly more like paranoid and like. I'm like, this is like I don't know. I was like, you guys are fucking so. I don't know how
There's
you.
a certain genre of this person where like every single criticism of them as a person winds up getting refuted with, "Oh yeah, you think X? It's because you want to fuck me." And like I could just feel it building up, and like they don't usually say it right off the bat, right? Like
No, but you could.
you've got to ruffle the feathers 2 or 3 times before they come out with the, it's clear that you're just saying all this because you want to fuck me. And you're like you're just waiting for it to happen, right? And
Yeah,
I think it's usually better to preempt this stuff somewhere in DMs so that you have like a chat record so that when they finally say it, you get to be able to
call
like
them out
this
for
is
it later.
always my favorite to say, like it's it's good that you're so predictable. I was able to call this one like 3 days ago.
Oh, I love that. Oh yeah, you should put that. Gotta put it in the screenshot. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Just like timestamp your like
Yeah, just
your
archive it
prediction.
and say send the date down at the bottom too, because it's usually hard to get that off of Twitter, it just being the time.
True. Oh yeah, no, these fuck. Yeah, I don't know. The I feel like I don't. I've been becoming increasingly more astrology pilled because these retrogrades happen, and there's just fucking chaos in every group chat, and I'm starting to believe in it.
I think astrology is like definitively correct about, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say everything, and certainly not all of the personality stuff, but like there definitely is some sort of something going
Yeah,
on.
because
Like, I mean, every ancient city being planned on the basis of like celestial bodies seems like not something that would happen if it was just like, oh, they look pretty, like, you know.
that's true. Yeah, yeah. This seems yeah, it's a little bit too uniform. Like it's a like every single ancient civilization built it off of that. So it's like you have the pyramids aligned with the stars. I don't know. Yeah, we would have probably.
I think even stuff like I want to say like even like England, like early England buildings and stuff had I don't know. I think there was some clock tower or something. I might be spacing on this. This might be totally fake news.
It's
I
probably
haven't
fake.
looked
I
at
like
how
making things
weird.
up.
Oh,
Making things up is better than reality.
yeah, I don't know. I think my biggest mistake was admitting that it might just be totally made up. I think I should have just.
Just go. You just went with it.
Yeah.
I would have let it happen because I'm all about making shit up now. I'm done
I
with
mean, that is the
facts.
thing. That is the thing with podcasts, right? Is nobody can really refute you,
Yeah,
right?
this is we could just say
I mean,
whatever the fuck we
I
want.
would have to have a guest on to refute me, and it's like if they're gonna refute me, I don't think I would ever invite them on as a guest, right? That's stupid.
Your job is to make me look good.
Right? You're like, your job is to agree, maybe to laugh sometimes. I don't have guests on to disagree.
Yeah. See, this is so. I just go. I've decided I'm not even gonna bother like argumentation. This so like I get in a lot of like arguments online a lot as you've noticed. But interestingly, I've stopped. I used to argue like really point by point, very Reddit, and now I'm just like I don't care. I'm just gonna be obnoxious because like no one's. It's a show, right? Everyone's watching,
Yeah.
so you end up winning the argument more so.
Oh yeah, no, the internet figured arguing out really early on, right? With if you get mad, you lose.
Yeah, simple.
It's really just like rhetorical, like meme stuff.
Yeah, you got to just fucking meme on somebody.
And it is funny in I don't know. There's always something extremely funny to me to do when you have like a girl who's experiencing like a lot of emotionality in some way, to go and do like this extremely autistic, unemotional point by point like questioning thing, like not even in like I'm trying to argue with you, but like in a like I am an autistic person trying to understand. Like it's funny to watch because you know when they get like really they get really into it and they start feeling gradually more and more like closed off and alone as it as they start being like, oh my god, this guy doesn't understand me at all. Like the more like weird, like robotic, retarded you sound, the more they start feeling like, oh my god, like I'm locked in a padded cell, totally alone, like it's fucking over.
I haven't had this experience, but
It's a funny thing to do. You've gotta be like, oh, I'm just joking, but before they hit the point of like total combustion. But
the problem is I'm very emotive, so it doesn't. I don't think that I can pull that off.
you
If
can
I
you can totally pull it off because like there's this I haven't described like an exact law for this, but like when people get really mad or sad or any emotion really, they start rapidly dropping IQ points, and at some point they lose the ability to simulate what like you know how usually like you have a list of things that you know about someone, and when you're like thinking about a conversation with them and how they would respond and trying to figure out whether they're fucking with you or responding seriously or whatever, you're like comparing the things you know about them uh and the simulation in your mind that it has created with like the actual output they're giving you, and seeing like how closely the two correlate.
yeah
They like totally lose the ability to do that, or their ability to like reconstruct the simulated you just starts getting lower and lower resolution to the point where they like it usually first starts off with like, Lucas, are you really serious? Like, are you being serious with me right now? And then eventually it's like, oh my god, he is being serious. and just total full on believing of anything that you say. And you can
Yeah, then
see
you can just start saying anything. Yeah.
it's the same thing with like reply comments or something like that. If somebody gets really tilted by one of your tweets, they have like mentally bucketed you as like a bad guy, right?
Yes.
And you can go and you can say whatever to them. Like you could totally reverse it, be like super nice, and then you can be totally mean again, and then you can be like apologetic. Just flip back and forth randomly for like the amusement of the audience. And the person who initially got pissed off at you will not. They will never like update their perception of you based on any of this new like totally different personality because they're still so tilted from your first tweet, and they're like, this guy's bad.
Oh no, I mean I'm finding that this is the case even if you know someone for long periods of time. Fucking they have these people in
That
group
is,
chats where
yeah, you are experiencing a
they
lot of
still can't fucking figure it out.
misunderstandings. Really.
I'm like, how? Where the fuck? Like, I don't know. I can't. The people's. I am increasingly realizing again that people's ability to empathize or not empathize, just have a theory of mind or just like understand other people is just a lot more limited than I anticipated. Especially, and like you would think like relatively smart people can handle this, but then no, like
It's like genuinely a skill for people to reconstruct it from like text-based communication. There's a lot of
yeah,
stuff that like if you're gonna do it from like YouTube videos or even calls or something like that, it's
it's
way
different.
way easier. But especially for girls, using just text to try and pull it back together is really fucking hard unless the person is like very good at intentionally passing on like their specific personality through text. Like they've been like a hyper online neat for years, but instead of using their hyper onlineism towards some sort of like autistic end that guys usually do, they focused it entirely on like group chats or like communication or something. Like they were literally just online the whole time, like trying to social network.
Yeah, and that's not. That's very rare if any
It's
if it
extremely
exists at
fucking
all.
rare.
But I would say that like, but this is always funny to me when like girls are like, I hate when guys use emojis. I'm like, emojis were invented to communicate with women because you guys don't understand text communication. You all read text communication wrong. So emojis were invented for you. Uh,
To lighten the
yeah, or
emojis. Well, guys got tired of adding insecure LOLs at the end of messages, so we
yeah,
had to now add
more pictures. Then you can go, oh, this is the
casual
tone.
giggling. Yeah,
But also, but the thing about emojis is like I feel like women don't have. There's no ironic emoji in the like. You ever like they take all emojis at face value. So like if I've sent like ironic or like sarcastic emojis. That like level
this is
that
dude. This
layer.
is literally like my biggest issue with the Twitter laughing emoji is it feels like a it feels like I'm mocking you when I send it, right? Like it's
Yeah,
because I've associated that emoji so strongly with
with being
like
a
meme
dickhead.
reaction. So every time I always do like thumbs up or hearts or fire reacts or something.
Uh huh.
And I've had people say like, "Why do you avoid giving me laugh reacts? Like, do you think I'm not funny? Do you think do you think only you're funny and you don't think that I'm?" And I'm like, no, like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come off this way. It's just that I can't in good faith give you the laugh react, knowing that it's going to be making fun of you.
Yeah, the laugh react is definitely. I'm usually making fun of you, unless it's like just pure comedy. But I don't know. Most of the time, I feel like I respond with laughing to people's like serious comments. So
I don't even look like that when I'm laughing. It looks nothing like me.
yeah, I think the emoji discourse needs to evolve. We need to understand. We need to understand sarcastic emojis. I don't know how we're gonna push this, but this is important because it's fucking me over when I'm talking to the chicks. Great, because I have to, because I already have like a strange cadence to myself, right? Because I'm already like assumed playful, but it's aggressive playful, and then I have to like add in emojis. But then in my like I'm not using the emojis the correct way, so now there's just a huge gulf in communication, and now women just don't know what to deal with, how to handle me.
I think
When
the way that the ironic emojis should be handled is and this technically as far as I know can't be done, but you should be sending uh when you want to be serious, you should be sending Apple emojis, and when you want to be ironic, you should be sending Samsung emojis.
it's just like they associate it with their brand, with their fucking brand fetishism.
Yep.
I
I
like
think
it.
that'd work.
That is the way to do it.
Dude,
Send the
I've
robots to
I've
come do
run
it for you.
into it used to be rough out there as an Android guy, but I've
I'm
run
starting
into a
to.
shocking number of women lately who have been like super pro, super pro Android.
Well, there's a TikTok movie. There's like a TikTok meme about guys with androids having big dick energy. So there's a actually in generally in TikTok there's a increasingly meme from women about like guys with no social media presence or guys who aren't like in playing a bunch of FaceTime games or have low snap score, like essentially like non-online, non-socially. I don't know, guys caught up in like a social game tend to be like better, whatever, boyfriends or whatever. It's just like the running meme, right? So there's been I feel like a campaign in support of Android, but at the same time, this is also polarizing the two fields because once again, I'm starting to like actually get harassed about having green text messages now, and that was not happening a couple years ago.
Is that back? Are you getting harassed good or harassed bad?
Harassed bad because there's like so like people. I see more people who are like, oh, I'm also Android because I'm sick of Apple's bullshit. But increasingly from the Apple stalwarts, there's like, why don't you have blue text messages? Blah, blah, you're fucking my group chat up. Blah, blah. I'm like, shut up, shut up. No one cared for like 10 years, and now all of a sudden everyone cares. This is guerrilla marketing.
Do people even use do people even use text messages anymore?
They use iMessage, but then I'm like, because I guess like they use it the way that we use Telegram or something, where because it connects to all your devices.
Because like I talk to all of my friends either on like an encrypted XMPP server, on Signal, on Twitter, like everyone who I actually care about. My I don't know if you can hear that. My
I
cats
heard,
are
yeah,
playing
he had a
like
guitar. Yeah,
yeah,
that was sick.
that's pretty funny. Uh,
Yeah, it's all Signal and Telegram and Twitter for me.
yeah, like and the only people who still text me are like my parents or like I'll get like I got like a spam call saying like, "Hey Raven, do you agree with 65 or the 65% of people in your state that abortion should be legal? If so, then call me at," and like some sort of weird campaign stuff like that. So like texting for me is uh kind
It's
of
for
like
one.
boomer shit at this point.
It's so boomer. I use it for like one, yeah, and like one time pads for like login codes. Like they send like text
Yeah.
your number
Yeah,
to it.
I
That's
think
about it.
like I'm thinking about this more and more and I'm realizing that like I don't actually like I think I could probably do away with SMS before I could like Signal.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely get. Yeah, I could get rid of SMS basically tomorrow. I mean, since most people who I text have a Telegram or a Signal, but Signal's using my number, I guess. So it's not. I don't know. But also, like even people who have Androids and stuff, or like people, I don't know. Like, there's no reason for me to use SMS if they have Signal or something because Signal, like they text messages compresses files, right? So if you want to send pictures, it compresses your pictures, or it just sends it in shitty quality. It just fucks everything up.
Oh yeah, dude. I fucking forgot. That's the main reason is like anytime I want to send a picture or a video or something, it's literally like it has to get pushed down to a point 0.3 fucking megapixel meme image.
Yeah, so but it's shitty. So it's like, all right, we all have some kind of alternative messaging app. So why are we even bothering with this?
It's been really weird watching everyone gradually log on to uh, like Signal or Telegram or anything, and
Yeah, and it shows you the people in your contacts list are joining.
it was always. Do you remember during like the BLM riots and stuff? And
Yes.
I had like all of the commies that I knew from university started joining Telegram and stuff because they were like, the government's listening in on us, like they're gonna, the government's gonna bust our BLM protest.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's actually kind of funny. That's actually how I made my transition from commie lib to like normal. Was like it was around like Trump election, I guess, the first one, and I was like, but I was also like at the same time I was like, whoever wins, it doesn't really matter. We have Hillary's piece of gate and Trump, whatever. So like around then, I was like getting into Signal and like crypto and stuff. I was like, we got the government's fucking corrupt. It's over.
It's true. The government is corrupt and it's over, but it's also
It's like it's not that serious. Relax.
yeah.
Like, you'll be okay. They don't really care about your fucking group chat.
Yeah, like that's the other thing that I've realized is like we could literally be in like World War III, and it's like it's gonna be fine, you know.
Yeah, like I'm not going to war. That's not my
Like
problem.
I'm
I'm
not,
too.
yeah, like I'm not going to war personally. It's like, oh, I might have to get a little resourceful with the scavenging. Like,
No, I
I
was
might
laughing.
be a little tricky to find food for a while, but I don't think it's gonna be like,
I was laughing at like I was on the plane like when we started going to war with Russia. Like, I don't know if we're officially in a war or not, whatever the fuck, the Ukraine shit. And everyone's like, "We're gonna have a war with Russia." And I was like, oh, all the Zoomers are like gonna have a war with Russia. I'm like, you are. They don't fucking draft me. I'm too old. That's your problem. I made it through my fucking like infinite war with Iraq. So you're gonna get drafted. I'm chilling. I'm a stable member of society now. I can't even get drafted. I aged out. Go fuck yourself. We can go to war with fucking Russia tomorrow.
that was basically, yeah. I just flat out didn't think it was gonna happen, right? Like I was sitting
Yeah.
there for so long, being like, it's not gonna happen. They do this every year. Nothing's gonna happen. I had some friends from Ukraine. I asked them like, what's your read on this, guys? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? And they're like, nothing. Like they said, yeah, it seems Putin does this every year. It's some sort of like they compared it to the way that Trump did his annual uh missile bombing of Syria, and then
Yeah, just
just
like
nothing
the
happened after.
ceremony,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
little ceremonial bombing,
This is like a show of you know,
power.
like
It's like a little
a
flex,
weird like off season like fireworks thing that he would do. Like he would just blow up an abandoned Syrian military thing.
just to make sure that they know that we'll fuck them up if they have to.
Yeah,
Warning shots.
and they basically thought of it as that sort of thing where Trump was just, or not Trump, Putin was just kind of doing his annual flex to make sure that everyone was on their toes, and they were like, by God, it seems he's done it. and and then still nothing happened.
Yeah,
Like
nothing
my
fucking
life is
happened.
totally unchanged. And then everyone in the timeline is telling me that soon there's going to be a fertilizer shortage, and I'm going to be out of food, and gas prices
No,
are going to spike, and all of this stuff. And
it's all these
it will
fucking
happen.
Zoomers who weren't around for the last decade. So this is like their first war, right? We forget that like they came of age during Trump, and they don't remember the fact that like the U.S. is in permanent war. So like Trump is like the first president in like forever that
In which
like
we didn't have any like active
yeah,
wars.
and he like actually stopped them, which is why they don't like him, right? So the Zoomers are like, oh my god, this is like baffling to them because they hardly remember Obama years or anyone before that. So I'm like, so they're blowing this Ukraine thing out of proportion. Like, bro, we are always at war. That's our whole like gimmick. Is that fucking Taylor Swift?
No, I think that was Carly Ray. I opened my phone.
Oh,
I've been trying to understand TikTok, right? So I guess I had TikTok open, and as a design feature, I guess they have it so when you open the app, it just starts playing the shit on full volume.
yes, that's annoying.
That's really dumb. Is
Yeah,
there
they gotta hook you though.
I dude, I everyone told me that if I just keep scrolling, the algorithm's gonna do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have literally not seen a single video that isn't total horse shit. Like they're all so dumb. Like it'll be like the one it was just showing me was like some girl at a gun range with like a pink and black Glock
Uh huh.
with Carly Rae Jepsen in the background, and it's like I it's just awful. Or it's
How
like
long have you
that.
scrolled on it? Because it does get pretty good. And but the thing is, it never shows you what you think you're gonna want to see. It just shows you stuff that you will ultimately want to see, if that makes sense. Like it just figures out on some underlying level like what will hold your attention.
I've
So
been like
you're
rapid fire scrolling with everything because like just the people that it's been showing me to start off with have just been so like physically unappealing that I don't like it doesn't matter how interesting the things they're saying.
oh yeah, no, that's why you're getting weird shit. You have to like let the weird shit be weird shit, and then it starts to like mold to your taste.
Because I
You,
spent like 30 minutes trying to train up the TikTok algorithm, and it just did not work.
Yeah, no, you have to like watch videos a bit. Like by the end of like if you started watching it for like 2 hours or so, like then it starts to like really like have enough training data. Uh, it's I don't know. It's still like a weird algorithm. Like I never feel good after I watch TikTok. I'm just like I wasted this time. TikTok is for like after when it's late at night and I can't go to sleep. I've just resigned myself to not sleeping, or
You
finding
gotta get your Kindle out, bro.
my what?
You gotta get your Kindle out.
Oh, my
Put
Kindle.
it on
Actually,
your bed.
my Kindle, I broke the charger, so I can only read on my computer or like real books. But
I got the Kindle before bed. That my new nighttime routine has become breathing exercises while reading on my Kindle, and then I continue reading for maybe 5 minutes after, and I just instantly lights out. Like I'm so fucking done. It's
reading
so.
before bed is great for sleeping. I will say when I get that habit going, but I have to be in a book I actually like for the habit to work. And like I have a few books that I've been reading, but none have like hooked me enough to
The
keep
way that
my.
I forced myself to do it was like I needed something to do during the breathing exercises, and it can't be my phone because if I have my phone out, then the screen blue light bullshit just keeps me up too late.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, the only thing that I can do is like physical book or Kindle, and I'm too cheap to buy. Like I mean, at this point, it's like I went through like 120 books the last I don't know year or something, and I'm not gonna buy them. I'm not gonna store them. I'm not gonna, like I'm definitely like an archiver personality, but I am not a. I want 7 million pounds of books in my house.
Oh yeah, no. I
Increasingly
have
becoming
books.
an I want fucking nothing in my house. I need to get rid of all the furniture. Like I'm going to become the meme of that guy who has like one table and one chair and his entire
That's what I'm literally living in right now. But I
yeah.
do have books. I have a bookshelf, but those are like I've been accumulating, and I just have now. Um,
I had like a bunch of instructional manuals that I got about like DIY stuff or just like technical manuals. Like if I have like the 2003 SV650 maintenance manual or something like that. But
I'm really tempted to. I also just bought some chess books. I'm really tempted to buy, and I don't need this, but I'm really tempted anyway to buy all like 105 volumes of One Piece. It's just to
that
have in
would
my.
be that would be quite a thing to have around.
Is that sick though? That's like so based. I don't know. I'm sure
Is it
no
even
one will
done yet?
appreciate that.
It's
What?
never going to be done, is it?
It will. Yeah, it's actually at the end. Like it's the actual final arc.
Really?
Yep. So it's ending in the next like few years. I mean, it just started the final arc like last week, so
In the
it'll
next
still take
3
like
years.
three. It's like 3 years probably still, but 3 to 4 years. But like it is actually ending. It is the final arc. We will find the One Piece. It's actually we're there,
I
and I've
wonder
been
when
reading
it's
it
going to
for
be.
20 years. Yeah, I have an idea, but
We should be getting to the point where like people have decent like speculative theories, right?
yeah, I'm pretty much on the team of the One Piece is like the world is the planet's like broken up with like a mountain range and like this other like fake mountain range called like the red line or whatever, and it separates the world into four different oceans, and I'm pretty sure the One Piece like breaks it and allows the whole world to like have the freedom to like travel between the rest of the whatever. Like it like destroys like the ruling class and like the fake borders on the world. Because the whole thing's like underlying theme of One Piece is like freedom. It seems like freeing the planet from like this like false separation is the answer. But I don't know. I'm just on that theory.
Hmm.
Yeah. And there's also like there's other hints along the way because he's supposed to like destroy. I don't know. There's like deep One Piece lore. So I don't want to bore the non One Piece readers, but it is we are getting there, and we'll know soon. Actually, in fact, you'll all know because the second the One Piece is revealed, all of fucking Twitter will know within 5 minutes.
All I ever saw was I don't know, I saw a One Piece edit and they all just had really big penises. Like somebody drew on like 8 foot penises onto every one of the characters and then edited.
Powerful. Actually,
I
it
think
has
I
been
saw it
confirmed.
because you retweeted it. Now that
No, I wouldn't do that. Don't slander me like that. I will say, it is confirmed that Luffy's dick does stretch. That is like canonical. He
what?
can stretch his dick. So like the main character is like rubber.
Right, but like who confirmed?
The creator. It's like so at the end of every like volume, there's like you can send messages to like people write letters to the creators. It's like every manga does this, and so in the volumes he'll answer like reader questions, and those are like he'll like, elaborate on parts of the story that he like glossed over, but they asked is like does Luffy's dick stretch too, and he's like yeah all of them stretches including his dick.
I feel like that's kind of a silly question, right? Like what?
Oh yeah, it's silly. Like
Yeah,
he'll answer silly and non and serious questions. He
well,
doesn't
no,
care.
no, no. But I mean, like, it was a stupid question for the like. Obviously, his dick would stretch, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
he ate
yeah.
a fruit that turned his whole body into rubber. Why would it be like, but not your penis? Like everything else stretches, but not your penis.
I think they just wanted him to talk about the dick, which
Huh?
is fair. No, I mean he has dick jokes in the show, so I don't know why there's like a. I don't know, it's there's like a. It seems like it's very clear that his dick stretches too to me too, but hey, someone had to ask, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not everyone can be a 190 IQ Giga Chad and just intuits the stretchiness of Luffy's dick based
Just
on
basic, yeah,
context clues. Yeah, some people have to go out there and they have to seek out the truth from firsthand sources.
exactly. But then once one, so I'm never gonna have to hear shit again though, because once One Piece actually ends, well, not that anyone's gonna read it, but who hasn't already started, but you know, people were like, your show doesn't end; it's only good because it's long. Well, suck my dick. It's ending now. This is like a very direct message to like one person. I don't think most of you guys have this argue with me on Twitter all the time. It's like,
Dude, if I had a show that was going on, like if I was the creator of some like 30-year project, I don't like I don't know whether my own personal desire to just say fuck it and be done or my autistic desire to carry on the story and finish it as I wanted would take precedence.
he very clear. He made it longer. Like, so like he planned it all out, but then like kind of added more to the middle. If that makes sense. He like separated the two ends of the story and added
Hmm.
like a middle section. And the middle section is actually interestingly, arguably the best part of the series by most people's like judgment.
What was
So
the
it
middle
was
part?
the big Marine Four war and all that stuff, like all
Hmm.
the like he's fighting different warlords of the sea. That stuff was all not supposed to be in it. The original idea for the story was like start in the beginning seas and then meet the four emperors of the seas, which is what they're doing now. And the middle stuff was supposed to be like he like added it when One Piece started getting a lot of notoriety. So he's like, okay, we can extend the story. This
That's
is
kind of
more,
what I would have done though, I guess, is if I had suddenly stumbled upon this massive cash cow,
yeah,
my
and
story, I might, there might be a good chance my story just never ends.
yeah, and like I mean, in fairness, like it's always been progressing towards something. But adding the middle chunk is fun, right? Because it's a sea adventure, right? So you can always just add more adventure in the middle, right? So like there's a solid
Yeah,
10 years, and
big.
also it was the number one selling series for like over a decade straight. Like it has outsold Batman, Harry Potter. It's like the number one selling fiction series. Like fuck it, just keep going. Who fucking cares? No one's gotten tired of it yet. Just go. You know what I mean? Like I've been reading it since I was like
I keep, dude.
10 years old. I've been
I've been
reading it for
starting
20
to
years.
become like extremely poisoned against the entire show because my main exposure to it anymore has been people like crypto shillbots tagging me in like Luffy coin 2, like Luffy swap, like all of this shit named after Luffy, and I'm just like, ah.
Well, you know, crypto pirate. It's hard to avoid. But I don't know. I think One Piece will be. I mean, it already is. Like by people who've read it, they know it's the best. But it will have its day when people stop being haters.